That have unfolded on this land. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of the Papuan people, including the Yochen Dihi Wintun Nation today. The Papuan people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. It has been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young generations. We are honored and grateful to be gathered here today on their traditional lands. Let us carry this awareness of connection into our time together.
Hi, I'm Kyria Boundy-Mills. I'm the co-director of the Juuliebells, and we have a wonderful problem here today. We need to set up more chairs. We ran out of chairs. So there's a few empty chairs in this little back alcove over here, and we're pulling out more chairs. What a great way to start the day. I am going to introduce our first piece. This is a handbell arrangement of the jazz standard Love, made famous by Nat King Cole. His daughter, Natalie Cole, recorded her own version in 1991 as a tribute to her father.
I helped to organize.
Our arrangement by Bay Area musician P.L. Grove is based on Natalie Cole's version. Before we play, I'd like to share 3 things that this experience has reminded me about life. First, we can do more together. And as more people arrive, let's please set up more chairs in this little back alcove. Are there more chairs available? I hope. Okay, there's 2 seats in behind the choir. Raise your hand if there's an empty seat next to you. That one's mine, sorry. Okay, all right. So first, we can do more together. You may have noticed that we're in a different space today. We had to make room for a much larger bells group. We brought together this performance brings together 2 bells groups, so we can cover all the positions that are required for this piece. Our UUCD Juuliebells. Okay. And the handbell choir from the Davis United Methodist Church. Yay. Second, don't be afraid to ask for help. Our combined group held a workshop last month with the arranger, P.L. Grove, who helped us work through some tricky sections, learn new techniques, and bring out the personality of this piece. And third, sometimes you have to think outside the box. The arrangement called for malleting low bells in octave 3 to imitate a walking bass line. Neither of these choirs owns those bells, But several years ago, our handbells group and another church, the Davis Community Church, jointly purchased the low octave of bells, of chimes. Yeah. Those giant chimes. So we had to experiment to mallet the chimes to make them sound like a walking bass line. Using a suggestion from the arranger, I sewed some chime hats out of corduroy, which we slip over the end of the chime to shorten the ring. And we found that we could prop up the chime with a combination of household objects. We ended up with a pool noodle and florist blocks. So as we play, we invite you to reflect on the lyrics of LOVE, which are on the monitor, and which the choir will sing later, and on the ways that love, cooperation, creativity, and community enrich our lives. One, two, three, four.
Okay, get this right box of that.
And I want to share that the arranger has joined us today. Yeah, thank you, PL. And is it your birthday today? Is it your birthday today, PL? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear PL. Happy birthday to you.
Am I on? Is this mic on? No.
Here, this one.
Alexander? I'll just turn somebody on. I've got no mic. That's okay. Am I on?
It's coming through. I don't know.
This one is on?
Yeah.
You can hear me? Okay. I just need to speak louder and I can't hear myself in here, I guess. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. First things first, housekeeping. There are still some seats around. There's 2 up here. There are 2 here. There's a lot of 2s around. There's 2 over there. If you want to have a seat. I know this is an unusual setup and an unusual Sunday, but I think at this point, 2 years in, you realize I like to do unusual things. And sometimes we make arrangements and we make adjustments to create a more welcoming space. We needed, as Kyria mentioned, to welcome a larger Juuliebells. And so that's what we did today. So good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Davis. I am Reverend Angeline C. Jackson. My pronouns are she and her and hers. We use our pronouns so that we help others know how we'd like to be called. When we each practice saying our pronouns, we avoid making assumptions and instead honor the worth and dignity of others. We are all gathered here in this room, and those joining us on Zoom, and those who will find the service later on when you need it, and we are glad you are here. As we have said multiple times now, we are here in this hall because the music needed more room, and today we will listen. Now, some of you know I don't like classical music. Anybody knows that? I know Jacob knows that. I know Lisa knows that. I know Susan knows that. But you don't know why. So, years ago I was in Austria, staying at Schloss Leopoldskron for a retreat with the Salzburg Global Seminar. It was an amazing week, a beautiful place, remarkable people, purposeful change makers. Near the end of our time there, we were treated to a concert. Beautiful music, I'm told, because it was classical music. I don't remember what it sounded like. Jacob asked me, whose piece was it? I don't know. What did it sound like? I don't know. I don't remember. What I remember is that in the middle of that concert, I was filled with a rage I could not explain. Like mad. I was hot and shaking and just full of rage. I didn't understand what it was. I slipped out before anybody could notice. I went to my room and I slept it off. And from that day on, I decided I don't like classical music. What I know now that I didn't know then is that I wasn't really listening. Something else was louder than the music. I couldn't be curious because I wasn't present. Years passed, and then Javon and I started dating, and it turns out you can't be in love with a musician, professional musician, and completely avoid classical music. Wish somebody had told me that. Last year, I finally decided to change my relationship with classical music. Plus, I'm here, so I have to figure out how to make that work as well. I found a playlist called, and I promise you this is the title of the playlist, I don't like classical music, but I really like this. What? That title stopped me because that's what curiosity does. Not because I was wrong, not because I had really changed my mind. Just, I don't like this, but I really like this person and this congregation, and I'm willing to sit inside the contradiction long enough to find out what it means. That is what we are here to practice this morning. listening as its own form of curiosity. Not listening to confirm what we already know, not listening to decide, listening to find out what becomes available when we stop filling every moment with our own conclusions. The music will lead us there.
You're invited to rise body or spirit as you're able to sing. Thank you. Number 123, Spirit of Life. We'll sing it first in Spanish and then in English. You're invited to rise in body or spirit as you're able. Check, check.
Checked.
Spirit de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sopla dolor, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arráigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. The choir will now come forward for the choir anthem, First Light. And First Light, it's a composition of mine influenced by classical music. It's about awakening light and spirit. And the effect of this piece depends on good vocal tone, breath control, and dynamics, or changes in volume, and also accurate pitch. These are qualities the Sparks Choir has been working on all year. And the translation of the Latin lyrics are as follows. Lux is light, primis is first, animus, spirit, vita, life, excitare, awakening. Joining us are Susan Coppock on harp and Lisa Johnson. They're going to mute my mic so you don't hear me cueing, making comments. Check, check, check.
I wonder, is this working? It is. Oh, good. I can use the microphone. Yeah, I will. So I'm Linda Birse, the other co-director of Juuliebells, and this is going to be our last piece. This is a piece that we've all worked on together with the Davis United Methodist Church Bell Choir. We performed at their service last week. It wasn't their Music Sunday, but we performed there and then for our service here. So this is Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, arranged for handbells, which many of you recognize maybe from the movie Shrek. We will be using different techniques to help create different moods in the piece, so we're going to demonstrate some of those for you right now. We'll start with the bass chimes, the chimes, and then the bells will take over, and then we're going to show you a special technique on chimes called vibrato. And then the chimes are going to, or everybody, all the chimes are going to demonstrate vibrato. Okay, write it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, including the historical meaning of hallelujah, this word might have different meanings for different people. For example, if you are like me, I'm saying, hallelujah, we finally have perfect weather. If you're a teacher or a kid in school right now, you might be saying, hallelujah, summer's almost here. And then, of course, in August, the parents are very quietly saying, hallelujah, the kids are going back to school. So we are going to give our gift to you of playing this song, Hallelujah, with our love and joy to you.
we come now to a threshold. In many traditions, there are places where ordinary time pauses, where the rush of the week, the noise of our lives, is asked to wait outside for a moment. This is one of those places, or ritual of joys and sorrows. Every person here, in this hall, on the screen, in the chair at home, arrived today carrying something. A joy, a sorrow, a question they haven't been able to put down, a grief they thought they'd set aside that came back this week anyway. In a moment, I will invite you to bring what you are carrying into your awareness. And when you do, know that this community holds it with you. That is the covenant of this practice. Today, we won't speak it aloud, but we will hold it together in the silence itself. So let us cross that threshold together. Begin by taking a breath together. Now gently, bring your awareness to what you are carrying. There is no right answer, no correct thing to bring. A joy, if that is what is alive in you, something that has opened this week, a moment of grace, a connection, a relief, a wonder, a sorrow, if that is what is closest to the surface, something heavy or unresolved or still raw. For some of us, tomorrow is Memorial Day, and the weight of that arrives today, ahead of schedule. A flag folded and handed over, a name that does not leave. For all of us, this week, a mosque in San Diego, 3 people killed at prayer. The unwelcomed reminder that worship itself is not always safe. Whatever is true for you today, whatever is most present, hold it. Not to fix it, not to explain it, just to let it be here, known in the presence of this community. Join me in the silence of this moment. Let us take one more breath together. What you brought into this silence does not leave unwitnessed. It has been held here by this community, in this room, in this moment. Named or unnamed, spoken or unspoken, it was enough to bring it. We return now to the rest of our service, carrying each other. Jacob is going to play a reflective piece for us, and I'm going to ask us to hold our applause at the end of the piece.
You're invited now to rise in body or spirit as you're able to sing our hymn of the month. Where do we come from? Number 1003 in the Teal hymnal, and we've been working on it all month towards the plan of singing it as a 4-part round. So we'll try that today. So once in unison, and then we'll have part 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4.
All right,
here we go. 2. Everybody ready?
So I got to take a drink. We were singing. It's beautiful. Okay. My name is Joe Sinelli. He, she, they. And today I'm going to be singing Amazing Grace in Cherokee. But first, it's wonderful to be alive, and everything is gonna be alright. So those are lyrics from my favorite band, Green Day. Pollyanna is the song. I love to sing. Music brings us together. Even when times are hard, we sing. The eternal vibration, which can never be silenced, even as they steal our lives, exile us. Music and love are too loud and echo forever. 190 years ago, May 23rd, 1836, Treaty of New Echota, ratified by the US government, which kicked off the Trail of Tears, removal by force. Did you know the Supreme Court ruled against Andrew Jackson? The big secret that they try to get you to forget, the Cherokee people, we didn't lose, we won. The Cherokee people won. The Cherokee Nation lawyers contested and proved their sovereignty, and their sovereignty was granted. Andrew Jackson ignored the courts, proceeded with the illegal march. Cherokee Nation had a constitution, branches of government, sovereignty, a distinct country. It did not matter. Even assimilation would no longer shield them. A third of the Cherokee people who marched would not make the full trip. But the dead were prevented from burial rites. No burial at all. Stop, join them. There was only time for a song, Amazing Grace, a song you surely all know. And so I would like to sing and teach it to you in the Cherokee language. But the Cherokee language has 80 characters in the syllabary, a little bit complicated, so our wonderful music director greatly helped me in writing it phonetically, which you will find on the back of your order of service, which I did not know, which puts, I was like, okay, but it's going to be very helpful. So this is sung at the beginning of government official meetings. When there is nothing left, still there will be singing. So I'm going to sing it alone first and then ask you to sing along, and you can't get it wrong because I don't speak Cherokee. I memorized this. So I'm attempting to learn it, but if you want to look at what I'm reading from, you can come and see it afterwards. It is very complicated, significantly more than what you're looking at. Okay. Une lana Heyu wechi iga guya hei nako chosa wiu lo se iga guya hona ase no i une chi iu no du lena Taineda Chiru Chiri Ura Neu Neja. Une lana heu wechi iga guya hei nako chosa Lo se iga guya hona hase no i no do lena sahi neza chilu chili ura neyu necha. So lovely. Thank you. We are all here together, even those no longer with us. You shepherd them. They continue to love and live with you. The beautiful symphony of silence we sing for them.
That was beautiful. And now a reading, Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Now we will count to 12, and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would not look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once would do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Now I'll count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go.
Good morning.
Morning.
Now is the time for our offering. I'm Scott Stewart. I'm a member of your board. And today we have the privilege of having Yolo Sol receive our offering. And if I can have Juliet Beck, who has a long-time acquaintance of mine. We have done a lot of climate work here in the area together. And she is the founder and director of Yolo Sol.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Scott. It's good to be here. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Juliet, and in the Patwin language of this land, you can say good morning with the words Leok Benau.
Leok Benau.
Yes. And I'm sure if Diana or Chrissy, one of our collective members, were here, they'd be delighted to hear their language spoken in this way, in this space. You're really doing a beautiful job of honoring culture. And today we're talking, I'm here to share what I've learned about the homeland culture, the culture in the place where we live here in Wintun homeland. Yolo Sol, just our tagline here is, we are an intergenerational collective of artists, activists, ecologists, and educators. Guided by Wintun cultural practitioners, we share stories of land and water here in the Yolo bioregion, homeland of the Wintun people. You are welcome and invited to join us in this journey towards a just, inclusive, and resilient future. I'm here with our plant relative, if you will, Tule. Tule is a cultural keystone species. It is the keystone of the Wintun culture. Patwin Wintun people inhabited the region to the west of the Sacramento River. And just like we use gravel and other construction materials, they used Tule for everything. But 95% of the Tule wetlands have been destroyed by industrial agriculture and urbanization and development. So the work of Yolo Soul is to really think about how we can regenerate the culture that was in the marsh, that was given to us through the Tule, that is truly regenerative, that is intergenerational, that sustained life for thousands of years, but unfortunately was barely it can make a comeback, but it's barely reviving itself now. 5% of our Tule wetlands are now the anchor and that source of life to revive this marsh economy in our imaginations and physically in the work of wetland stewardship. So it's really an honor for me to just share. I am not native. You may have picked up on that. I am indigenous to the lands of Western Europe. But I made a commitment to this land because I've been raising my children here for the last 18 years. And my ancestors did come in the 1890s to be part of the agricultural economy. So for 5 generations, my family has been extracting the wealth of this land, and I've made a commitment in my lifetime to really try to give back. Last time we were here on Mother's Day, Chrissy, did anyone get a chance to hear Chrissy speak? Okay, so Chrissy was here on Mother's Day. She's a mother of 6. She's a busy mom, so she was able to share a little bit on Mother's Day how meaningful this collective is to her and the work of Yolo Soul. We are, I just wanted to mention that, when I was here last time, someone asked me, how do you go beyond the land acknowledgement? You say the land acknowledgement to start your prayer and your service here. How do you go beyond? Well, Yolo Soul has been my response to that question, to answer that question. So today is a special day to invite you to give in a reciprocal manner. Hopefully you can come and learn more about our programs. This summer is a cornerstone of our programming is passing the torch, passing the flame to the next generation, and that is done through our traditional ecological knowledge summer program. So we're really grateful. This is coming at a very good time. We didn't get some grants, so it's very helpful to receive this gift from you to support that knowledge transfer from Chrissy's own children, from Diana's grandchildren, Bert, to practice these things in community. Traditional ecological knowledge, the knowledge of homeland is done in community. So we wanted to thank you. Anyone who would like to come get a little, one of our artists did this. It says, "Acorns feed our people." Be happy to give this gift and share more about Yolo Soul after this wonderful service. Thank you.
There are several ways that you can contribute to our offering. You may give via the UUCD website by texting UUCD offering to 73256 or by check sent to UUC with offering in the memo line. Those in the sanctuary with cash or checks are invited to place them in the basket. Thank you for your generosity.
Sparks Choir will now come forward to sing the offertory Oceans and Stars by Amy Bernan. And it's a song that expresses how it can be very hard to let go of a loved one, be it a child, a beloved friend, a sibling, or other, but that we want them to have full and wonderful lives. And so we wish them well as they go off into the world. Live, you will live. Grow, you will grow. Sing out your greatest song. And that we'll be waiting for their safe return when we can hear about their adventures, stories of oceans and stars. Spark sang this song for Mother's Day 2 weeks ago, and to go with the theme of curiosity, you're invited now to listen closely And ask yourself, be curious as you listen. Is there anything new you hear, you notice this time? And knowing about the background of the song, does it make you feel anything new?
Please join me in blessing this offering. May the work of this organization create lasting impact in our community and our world.
I know Sparks still has one more piece, but can we give a round of applause to all who contributed to today's music service? So, last week, following our practice and integration discussions, 2 reflections came back that I've been carrying this week. One group said it matters that we not be offended by the questions, and another group said it matters that we stay open to asking the questions. I have been thinking about what it actually takes to do both of those things. And I think it requires something harder than we usually admit. It requires that we stay willing to listen, really listen, even when we have already decided. So let me tell you what happened when I started listening to that playlist. I found pieces I knew, pieces I loved, pieces I had been carrying around for years without knowing what to call them. There was one in particular, the Sabre Dance by, Aram Khachaturian, an Armenian composer. I have heard it in my whole life. Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes, The Simpsons, Madagascar 3. I was so excited when I heard it, and then I was like, wait. This is on the classical music playlist. I don't like classical music. I had spent years insisting I didn't like classical music, and I had spent those same years loving the Sabre Dance. I will still watch a Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes, okay? Total enjoyment. I didn't know any Armenian people when I was growing up. Honestly, I didn't know there was a place called Armenia growing up. But something that Khachaturian made in 1942 had been living in me and with me since childhood, tucked inside a cartoon, carried without my knowing it. The door I had closed hadn't closed on the music. The music kept reaching me anyway, through cartoons and music, through the door I forgot to lock. That is what I want to leave you with today. We all have closed doors. Decisions we made, sometimes based on one experience, sometimes based on fear, sometimes based on something that had nothing to do with what was going on. And sometimes while we weren't paying attention, what we thought we had locked out was already inside, already known, already loved. Don't be offended by what knocks. Stay open to the knocking. The music doesn't stop playing just because we stop listening. And for today, for just over an hour in this hall, we chose to listen. That is no small thing. Susan.
And now Sparkler will come forward again to sing Love. Earlier, we heard Juuliebells play a beautiful arrangement written by Pam P.L. Grove, and then we will sing it for you. And we're singing it to express that you can love whoever you want, and also to express the universal love of friendship.
Notes, please.
Is for the way you look at me.
Almost. A very short announcement. Today in the sanctuary, there'll be a few of us presenting the Congregational Safety Program as a presentation. And so we would invite you at about 10 after noon, and we'll start then. And now back to our music program.
Please rise in body or spirit as you're able as we sing our benediction today. Go now in peace, number 413 in the gray hymnal, and the words are on the screen. We'll sing it twice in unison and then as a two-part round, part one, part two. Okay.
Beloved, our service is finished, and I invite you to enjoy our coffee hour. And I am asking for multiple volunteers to help with cleanup today. We have a lot more food than we had anticipated, and Friis is not here. So please, can we have a number of people stay to help with cleanup today as and after you enjoy coffee hour. Have a wonderful week.
Where did the chairs go?
I think Thomas and Alexander will take care of that.